Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my updated recipe for some tennis rolls. Now the holiday season is approaching and that means lots of baked goods, lots of breads, and lots of different types of carbs. Tennis rolls are a classic in Guyanese households, especially on Christmas morning to eat alongside pepper pot. So if you lovely people are interested to see how I put together my tennis rolls, please keep on watching. The first thing that we're going to do is bloom our yeast, and the reason why we have to bloom the yeast is so this way we can activate it and make sure that our yeast is actually working. So in a large cup or a bowl, I'm going in with some warm milk. If you did not want to use milk, you can also use water. And on top of that milk, I'm going to be going in with my dried active yeast, and I'm also going to be going on with a few tablespoons of sugar. The reason why you add sugar when blooming your yeast is so this way the yeast has something to feed on and it'll start to puff up really nicely. I'm just going to give this a mix and I'm going to allow it to sit covered for about 10 to 15 minutes or until I see it start to bubble up and it will almost double in size. Now once you've put your yeast to bloom for the tennis rolls, it is time to make the dough. So in my stand mixer here, you can do this in a bowl and mix it by hand, but in here I'm going in with some all-purpose flour and I'm also going to be adding in some salt. I'm also going to go in with my melted unsalted butter, and then I'm going to put on my dough hook attachment and I'm going to mix it until all of the butter is mixed with the flour. Once the butter, flour, and salt are mixed together very well, it is time to go in with that yeast mixture. As you can see, it has doubled in size, it's gotten nice and foamy and bubbly. That is exactly what you want. So we're going to add that in here, and right on top of that, we are going to be going in with some mixed essence. Now, if you didn't have mixed essence, you could also use a little bit of vanilla, but the mixed essence is definitely going to give it that classic tennis roll flavor. And I'm also going to be going in with some lemon extract. The lemon extract is really what makes it a tennis roll. It gives it that nice tennis roll flavor that we all know and love. And of course, if you didn't have lemon extract, you could also use fresh lemon zest. I've done the recipe with that before and it comes out great. And all I'm going to do now is turn my mixer on a low speed and allow this to mix until all of the liquid is mixed in. Once all of that liquid is mixed in, it is time to start streaming in a little bit of warm milk or warm water a little bit at a time until you get a very soft, sticky, and tacky dough. The amount of milk that I leave for you to use to bloom the yeast is not enough to bring the entire dough together. So you're going to have to add in a little bit more water or milk so this way you can bring it together into a very sticky dough. So I've added in all of my liquid and this is what you should be getting, a very soft, sticky, and tacky dough. Once you get to this stage, you're going to knead it for about 8 to 10 minutes or until it is all smooth all over the edges. And after about 8 to 10 minutes of kneading, you're still left with a soft dough, but it is no longer really sticking up to your hands. It's nice and it's smooth and is ready to be left to rest. So basically you just want to form it into one uniform ball, leave it in this bowl or you could transfer it into another bowl, and you're going to let it sit covered for about 1 hour or until it doubles in size. I like to cover it with plastic wrap personally, but some people like to put a damp paper towel or like to put a tea towel over it. And after about an hour, you're going to see that your dough doubles in size, and that is exactly what you want. That's how you know that the yeast is working and that your bread is going to be nice and fluffy. So all I'm going to do first is I'm going to butter up my cookie sheet very, very well. The reason why you want to do so is because if you don't, they will stick to that cookie sheet. So make sure you butter it or you put some parchment paper down, anything so this way it doesn't stick. And at this point, I'm going to take my dough and divide it into equal sized balls, and I'm going to smoothen them out very well and lay them down onto my cookie sheet. You want to make sure that they're nice and round on top so you have a uniform looking tennis roll. And also just remember that the bigger you make them, the longer they will take to cook. I tend to make my tennis rolls on the smaller side. If you want to make them big though, feel free to do so as well. And once you get all of your tennis rolls formed, it is time to cover them with a tea towel and let them rest for about another 45 minutes to an hour or until they start to double in size again. And at that point, we can start to bake them. So my tennis rolls have been sitting for another 45 minutes exactly. As you guys can see, they've doubled in size and they are ready to go into the oven. So I'm going to put them in my oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to leave them to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown all over the top. And after about 20 minutes, this is what I was left with, these beautiful, smooth, and brown looking tennis rolls. As soon as they come out of the oven, you're going to lather and brush them down with some butter, so this way they stay moist and soft on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait about 15 minutes just so this way they can cool down a little bit, because if you were to cut into your tennis rolls right now, they will get a very gummy texture on the inside. That just happens anytime you make bread. If it's very hot and you cut into it, it will fall and not be fluffy anymore. So just wait a couple of minutes. So my tennis rolls have been resting and cooling for just about 15 minutes, and at this point I'm going to cut into one to show you all what it looks like. As you guys can see, these tennis rolls were super fluffy, super soft, nice and buttery, and that taste was absolutely perfect with that lemon extract that we added in. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try for this holiday season. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and drop those comments down below and let me know if you try out this recipe. I'll see you guys again very soon in my next video. Bye everyone.